This your boy, the Real McCoy, coming at you, man. We talking about boxing for all my boxing heads out there, man. This video here, we touching on a subject that, you know, it's important to me. I think it's important to all sports fans, talking about the Hall of Fame. And specifically, we talking about the Boxing Hall of Fame, you know. And does it need to change, you know? And I believe it does, you know. When you look at Cooperstown, you know, Cooperstown is the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. You know, the players need 75% of the vote to be able to get inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, you know. And, you know, baseball, it's a team sport, but at the end of the day, you got to put up great individual numbers as well, you know, to get into the hall. So you need 75% of the vote. It's not easy to get in. There's debates about who should get in, who shouldn't be in, but there is a minimum standard criteria that most people, you know, they'll at least respect it and agree with it somewhat, you know. And there are some years where nobody goes into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Nobody gets elected or inducted in, and I'm cool with that, because you know, I think that should be special. You know, the Hall of Fame. Don't take that lightly, you know. And you know, then you got Canton, in Canton, Ohio. That's the NFL Hall of Fame. You know, I believe you need 80% of the vote. Yeah, I think you need 80% of the vote, and it's not easy to get into the Football Hall of Fame either. You look at somebody like Cris Carter. I remember Cris Carter, a prime example. He was drafted by the Eagles. He had an issue with substance abuse, I think drugs and alcohol. He got released. Him and Coach Buddy Ryan, buddy heads anyway. He got released, got picked up by the Vikings, and he put up Hall of Fame numbers with the Vikings. He set, I believe, an NFL record. He had like 122 catches, 120. I think it's 122, I believe. And that was a record then. And, you know, to be eligible, you have to wait at least 5 years after your retirement to be eligible. And Cris Carter waited over 5 years before he got in. So it's not easy. John Lynch, the safety, played with the Bucks, and I think the Raiders and the Bucks and the Broncos. I don't think he's in. T.O., Terrell Lawrence, Hall of Fame numbers. You know, forget all the locker room stuff, Hall of Fame numbers. He's not in. I think Kurt Warner, the quarterback. Did Kurt go in recently? I don't think Kurt Warner I don't think he's in Canton. You know what I mean? I could be wrong on that. But it's not easy to get. I mean, anybody can be inducted. You just got to call. You just call the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and they'll, you know, review it and all that. But it's not easy to get into Canton. Then you got Naismith Hall of Fame for basketball, and I think it's in Springfield, Massachusetts. You know, I think you need 18 of the 24 votes, or 75% to get in. You know, it's not easy either. But those Hall of Fames, everybody respect those. There's a criteria, a minimum, a standard. But when you look at boxing, it's like I hate to say it, but it's almost like a joke. You basically, you know what I mean? You know, you got the International Boxing Hall. First of all, you got 2 Hall of Fames for one sport. That's crazy. And that automatically, some people just don't even, you can't respect that. Because you got the International Boxing Hall of Fame, which is more recognizable and noticeable. And it's in, Castanota? Things like Canastota, New York. And then you got the World Boxing Hall of Fame. I believe that's in L.A. But you got 2 Hall of Fames for one sport. And it's hard for people to take that seriously, man. You know, and the one in Canastota, New York, most people say that the only reason why they had the Hall of Fame there, because, you know, it draws money to the small town. They got the parade and all of the festivities surrounding the Hall of Fame event. It makes money, and that's fine. I'm all for that. But at the same time, you know, that should be, you know, special for the special fighters. You know, we should be able to respect the Hall of Fame. Right now, I'm a huge boxing fan. I don't respect the Boxing Hall of Fame. No disrespect to anybody that's in the hall, the fighters, the referees, the trainers, the writers, the announcers, things like that. The commentators, I mean, no respect to those guys, but it's hard to respect the Baseball Hall of Fame. So it needs to change, man. It needs to change. And if the International Boxing Hall of Fame, at least 3 people go in every year, at a minimum. And that's why people say the reason why they do that, because it makes money, you know what I mean, for the small town. I like baseball. It's not guaranteed everyone's gonna go in every year. It happens, you know what I mean. It should be hard and difficult to get into the Hall of Fame. That's for the elite, you know. You look at somebody like, say, George Chuvalo. You know what I mean? George Chuvalo, he's the one who fought Muhammad Ali. But his most recognizable or noticeable win is he beat Cleveland Williams. George Chuvalo's in the Hall of Fame. He beat Cleveland Williams, and you know Cleveland Williams was an opponent for he fought Muhammad Ali. But George Chuvalo didn't beat anybody. I mean, George Chuvalo, I think 1965, I believe, he was Ring Magazine. He was Ring Magazine said him and I think Floyd Patterson had the fight of the year, and that was all he did. He lost to Ali. He lost to I think Frazier. He lost to Foreman. He lost to Ernie Terrell. He lost to Oscar Bonavena. He lost to Zora Foley. He lost to all of these guys. I mean, he had 73 wins, 64 knockouts. That's impressive. But he had 18 losses. He lost 18 fights, and he's in the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. George Chuvalo, no, he's a good person, good man. But come on, man, 18. What's the minimum? What's the criteria to get in? You know, just recently, may he rest in peace, Hector Macho Camacho. He just got in recently. So I'm saying, even though people love his flamboyance, the life he lived outside the ring, in the ring, some people say the life he lived was the reason why he got murdered. That's a different topic, you know what I mean? But you know, he had fast hands, things like that. But who did Camacho beat? You know, I think he was like, he was like 79 wins. I think he had 6 losses. I think he had 3 draws, something like that. You know what I mean? That's pretty. 38 knockouts. His knockout ratio was less than 50%, I believe. But so I'm saying, no, he beat Roberto Duran twice. Okay, I respect that. But the first time he beat Duran was in '96. Duran was like 45 years old. He beat Duran again in I think 2001. Duran was 50. He was 50 years old. That's your most noticeable win. You know, he beat guys like Vinny Pazienza, Ray Mancini, Edwin Rosario. Rosario, you know, I mean, he had a big fight with Cesar Chavez. You know what I mean? Is Pazienza and Mancini and Rosario, are those names good enough to bolster your resume to be in the Hall of Fame, Camacho? You know what I mean? And then he lost to guys like Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. A lot of guys did. He lost to Felix Trinidad. He lost to De La Hoya. Those are the kind of names that if you beat, you get into the Hall of Fame. He lost all those fights. I don't think they were even close. At least on the judges' scorecards, they weren't even close. But he's in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? What's the criteria? What's the minimum to get in the Boxing Hall of Fame? You know what I mean? Right now, there isn't nothing. So it's hard to take. And I love boxing. I love boxing, man. But it's hard to take the Hall of Fame seriously. Now, I'm not picking on George Chuvalo or Hector Camacho. You know, that was just 2 random names from, you know, that was more recent. And Chuvalo fought back in the day. So, you know, get a decent assessment about what I'm talking about. And just because you get in the ring with a great fighter, that doesn't make you a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? It has to be, resume has to count at some point. You have to have, I don't know, man. I don't know what it should be, but it needs to be. It can't continue the way it is, or it'll never be taken seriously with the other Hall of Fames. And I love boxing, man. I love boxing. I'm a boxing head, but I can't respect the Boxing Hall of Fame. No disrespect to anybody that's in there, is that it's hard to respect it, man. No doubt about it. When you look at like Sylvester Stallone, you know, from Adrian, you know how Stallone talk. We all love Rocky, the Rocky movie series. Sylvester Stallone, he's in the Hall of Fame. Sylvester Stallone's in the Hall of Fame. He's not a professional fighter. But you look at guys, actual fighters who got in the ring who aren't in the Hall of Fame. Julian Jackson, one of the hardest punchers in boxing history. I think he has like 54, 55 wins, 49 knockouts, I think, something like that. Now, he had a glass chin, but hard puncher. David Tool is not in the Hall of Fame, but Sylvester Stallone is. Hossein Rockmont, who became heavyweight champion at one point when he knocked out Lennox Lewis. Nigel Benn, he's in the Hall of Fame. Man, he's not in the Hall of Fame. Nigel Benn. Arturo Gatti, he's in the Hall of Fame. Who did Arturo Gatti beat? He lost to De La Hoya. He lost to Floyd. You know, he had a trilogy with Mickey Ward. 3 great fights. But Mickey Ward is not on pound for pound, top 10, anything like that. Who did Arturo, man, he rest in peace. Who did he beat? But he's in the Hall of Fame. But David Tool is not. You know what I mean? Nigel Benn is not. You know what I mean? Just some of the fighters like, off the top of my head I can think of who's not in the Hall of Fame and who is. And that's what makes it confusing. Like, well, now what does a fighter have to do? Or what can't he do? You know what I mean? Or what can't he do not to get in? You know what I'm saying? You know, there has to be some type of minimum threshold. Either a certain percentage of the vote. Does a fighter need to have does his knockout ratio needs to be above 50% or something? Is it he has to have a certain number of wins, or he can't exceed a certain number of losses? You have to beat a certain number of world champions. Do you got to win world titles at multiple weight classes, things like that? I know Hector Camacho, I think he won world titles in 3 different weight classes. So I kind of get Camacho, but he doesn't have the strongest resume. Guy doesn't have the strongest resume, but they're in. Sylvester Stallone is in, but some of these other fighters, they're not in. I don't get it. I truly don't get it, man. To me, the Hall of I'm a sports fanatic, man. To me, the Hall of Fame should be sacred. It should be reserved for the elite of the elite, man. That's who should get in the Hall of Fame. And I think that's what, especially baseball. Baseball does it, NFL, and I think basketball, but boxing. And I love boxing, man. I like boxing more than baseball and basketball. You know, man, I love boxing, but I just can't take the Hall of what it needs to change, man. It needs to change. Let me know what you guys think, man. A lot of people, they just don't take it seriously. They don't take the Boxing Hall of Fame seriously, and I don't blame anybody that doesn't. You know, I want to, but I can't. I can't take it seriously. I don't. There has to be some type of minimum. What that minimum is, I don't know, but it has to change, man. The video is getting kind of long. Let me know what you guys think, all my boxing heads out there, man. What can be done here? You know what I mean? The Hall of Fame shouldn't be taken lightly. It shouldn't be a joke. I hate to say it, and it sucks to say it, because I love boxing. But this Hall of Fame is a joke, man. You got 2 Hall of Fames for one sport. It should be 1 Hall of Fame, and I get boxing is an international sport. But you have, 1 Hall of Fame. You might have multiple locations around the world. I understand that, but it's a joke right now. It's an absolute joke, man. It can't be taken seriously, and it's unfortunate because the Hall of Fame is the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? It should be sacred. It should be reserved for the elite of the elite, man. The elite guys get into the Hall of Fame. You got to earn that, and right now, I don't know if a lot of these guys have really earned it. Let me know what you guys think on my boxing heads, man. The video's getting kind of long, man. Let me know what you think, man. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And what can be done? I mean, I think it needs to change. The Hall of Fame needs to be special, man. It has to be elite. Let me know what you think, man. This your boy, The Real McCoy, man. I'm out. Peace.